Warning: the following video contains explicit language which may be offensive to some viewers or inappropriate for children. The content within this video is intended for mature audiences only.
Hello and welcome to this video. I hope everyone out there is having a good day, good night, good morning, good afternoon, good midday, whatever time you're watching this video, or just in general. Just hope everyone has good in their life. Thank everybody who's subscribed. I thank everybody who watches. This video, we are returning to the city of, or township, or burb, or whatever you want to call it, of Night Vale. This is episode 9 called Pyramid. We haven't even started and I'm starting to chuckle. So, you know, it is what it is. Like I said, it's been so long since I've been this early in the Night Vale episodes. I've pretty much forgotten the details, so we're kind of experiencing this. You're experiencing it, for some of you, for the first time, and me, it's kind of like a reawakening. We'll call it that. So without further ado, let's get into this bad boy.
Weird at last, weird at last. God Almighty, weird at last.
I mean, and they do this for every episode. And they're up to like 300 and some odd episodes. Come on. I mean, a individualized intro. I mean, that's just, you know, these people over here that do the Night Vale stuff. Great people. I mean, great writers.
Welcome to Night Vale.
Can't do the side to side. My neck won't, but I can do the chicken neck. Do that through the intro. Do the chicken neck. But yeah. Hopefully, looks like we're getting ready.
The sheriff's secret police are asking the public's help in catching a dangerous fugitive on the loose in the greater Night Vale area. They say he is armed and should be approached with extreme caution.
To be honest with you, I think anybody you approach in Night Vale should be done with extreme caution, to be honest with you. Even Cecil. Actually, Cecil may be the only normal one in, or the closest to normal in Night Vale, but you gotta love Cecil. He keeps us abreast of what's going on in Night Vale.
For everyone's protection, they are keeping the name and description of the fugitive secret.
It sounds like Texas Department of Public Safety.
But indicate that all strangers should be mistrusted and avoided.
Oh yeah, definitely the state of Texas.
As well as friends and loved ones.
Oh, you can't get any more Texas than that.
Because how well do you know those people anyway? Are you aware of their location every second of every day? Who among us does not have secrets? The fugitive is wanted dead or alive, and vigilante justice is, as always, highly encouraged.
Wow. You can't get any more Texas than that story.
Our top story today. A large pyramid has appeared in the center of the Beatrix Lohman Memorial Meditation Zone, destroying over half of the zone's state-of-the-art meditation equipment and paraphernalia.
Okay. This is going to be fun.
Experts have been contacted as to what could cause sudden pyramid existence. However, as it turns out, there are no experts in pyramid materialization.
Well, small town. Sometimes you just, don't have all the benefits of the big city.
And the town's other experts offered up merely shrugs.
Yeah, I would imagine.
Followed by panicked conjectures, and finally, screams and moans, all of which fell uselessly upon the city council's merciless ears.
I bet you anybody in any town, especially a small town America, could probably relate to the city this type of city council. The bureaucracy in like a big city like Houston or Dallas or something like that is probably overwhelming, but you take the setting of Night Vale and you got this itty bitty little, city council, which are all probably brothers and sisters and husband wives and daughter wives and son husbands and stuff like that.
The pyramid has been described as a kind of triangle shape, only three-dimensional.
I had to pause. I mean, it's so obvious. It's funny.
It has made no movement, despite repeated taserings by the sheriff's secret police.
Why would you? You don't know. It is what it is, people.
Many suspect that this may be a publicity stunt pulled by our own local cereal company, Flaky-O's, who are launching their new line of nighttime-only cereals.
Okay, nighttime-only cereals. Ugh.
Next month. An angry mob has formed outside of the cereal factory, just in case.
Preparatory angry mobs, we got to prepare. We'll have an angry mob on standby.
Telly. You remember the deceitful barber with a shriveled soul who, just a few weeks ago, cut perfect scientist Carlos's perfect beautiful hair very short.
Yeah, I think we're gonna add the barber to Cecil's list of people he doesn't care for.
So very, very short, thus depriving our community of our only remaining pleasure. Well, Telly was seen recently wandering the sand wastes, howling at the sky and holding up Carlos's shorn locks, as though begging God to reverse the crime he has done.
Okay, small town barbers.
Reports indicate that his skin was blistering, that his eyes were bleary, and that he was recently seen trying to give a cactus a haircut.
Yeah, some people just probably shouldn't stay in the desert too long. He'd get to you, among the other things. Maybe he's been eating too many of the wrong cacti flowers and, kind of got to him.
Whispering and cooing into what he seemed to think was its ear. Listeners, I am not one to stand aside harshly and say that a man deserves the punishment that comes to him. But I also am not sorry to see Telly in this state, given his crime.
Well, something my mama always told me growing up was, it is bad manners to wish bad things to happen to somebody, but you're under no obligation to care if it does. Just, words of wisdom from my elder, and I'm passing them on to you.
In any case, if your cactus is in need of a haircut, try Telly, out wandering the sand wastes.
I imagine there's probably not a whole lot of competition on cacti barbers. Probably not a whole lot of those wandering around.
Ladies and gentlemen, I must say that I am not a cat person, but I have really grown to love Kaushik.
You know, I am a cat person. Well, I'm a pet, not really pet. I'm an animal person. Dogs, cats, lizards, mice, birds, chicken. You know, chickens are birds, but you get the idea. About the only animal that I have any ambivalence toward it, or the hairless Homo sapiens walking around. Those just kind of get under my skin sometimes.
The stray cat that has made his home here at the radio station. I discovered Kaushik several weeks ago, hovering in a fixed location in the men's bathroom, and he's remained there ever since. The men at the station, of course, have taken to keeping the sink at a light trickle so he can get water, and we even take turns buying science diet low-calorie cat food.
Well, yeah, if he's frozen in space like that, his calories are he's not burning a whole lot, so.
It turns out little Kaushik is getting a bit chubby since he can't actually exercise in his unmovable, levitating state.
Well, yeah, it happens.
Oh, and thanks to our new intern, Brad, we've finally solved the litter problem.
Uh-oh. Brad, the intern. Add that to the list if you're keeping one on Night Vale interns.
Brad is very excellent at both carpentry and dark magic. So he rigged us up a fine-looking litter box that our floating feline friend can reach.
It's always good to have an intern that's good at carpentry and black magic, We should have more interns like that.
Oh, he's just adorable, that cat. As a lifelong dog lover, I've really turned the corner. Kaushik is wonderful. I know several others here at the station that feel the same way. After meeting Kaushik, Michaela, who works in sales, put her 3-year-old Weimaraner to sleep and then adopted 6 tabby kittens.
Okay, probably wouldn't go as far as putting my current pet to sleep, but the adoption of 6 tabby kittens is always good.
She's that much of a convert. Make sure to take some cute videos, Michaela. And for others of you interested in getting a new cat, the Night Vale SPCA strongly recommends that you have your cat spayed or neutered, bring them in for their shots, and, once the cat reaches 18 months, begin using the little beast to harvest human organs for those just-in-case moments.
Okay, I need to talk with my cats about, the harvesting of human organs, if they do it as a sideline, or if I can convince them that they, because I need some new silly putty between the ears, so, it might be worth talking to my kitty cats about that.
The SPCA has several one-sheets on preventing heartworms and using pets to grow small replacement organs.
Hey, that's always a good thing.
To get your copy, go online or simply make up your own informative facts.
Yes, just make them up. Oh, sounds like, a government enterprise to me, or a government intelligence agency.
An update on the pyramid reported on earlier. Word is in that the pyramid has spoken.
Uh-oh.
It is broadcasting on low-wave frequencies a repeated message. The message is the following. I will place within some of you questions. Within others I will place answers. These questions and these answers will not always align. The questions I provide may have no answers, and the answers I provide may have no questions.
Sounds like a philosophy professor to me.
I will study the effects of these questions and these answers. Some of you will hurt others, and others will heal. Grow.
Well, yeah, if healing's always a good thing.
My seeds inside you, and let them flower.
That's kind of creepy sounding. Seeds inside people. Unless he's talking about planting some mental thoughts in the old silly putty between their ears.
The Flakio's marketing department must be complimented for the best use of viral marketing in Night Vale since Stan's Pawn Shop released a virulent strain of Ebola back in '98.
As funny and as strange as this might sound, I could live in Nightville, to be honest with you. If it were a real place, if it were to manifest in our world, I could live there. To be honest with you, maybe we can get a petition going to rename like San Angelo to Nightville. Talk to my goddaughter. She lives out there. She's a librarian.
And, as a communicator by trade, I applaud their ingenuity. The Sheriff's Secret Police has responded with surface-to-surface missiles, which...
Okay, modern law enforcement, I guess.
They say will silence the dark heart of the beast. So far, they have not so much as created a smudge on the pyramid's broad, shiny surface.
Well, get bigger missiles, I guess.
Home handymen. Fix-it vixens. Ladies and gentlemen who love to get their hands dirty. Let's talk about home repair.
Okay, let's see where this craziness goes.
Certain jobs are fine for the amateur, and certain others should be left to the professionals. Leaky sinks, sticky windows, minor exorcisms, and bleeding doors, all these are the kind of quick fixes that a toolbox and a quick search on the internet should allow you to take care of.
YouTube videos. That is, for all my bleeding doors and minor exorcisms and stuff, I've found YouTube videos for that. So, there's a little bit of everything on YouTube.
On the other hand, structural damage, major remodeling, seeping darkness, major exorcisms, roof boils, and lawn care. These are all the kind of work that should not be attempted by anyone without years of expertise and a valid hammer license from the city council.
Yeah, one must always have a good and up-to-date hammer license.
Finding the right professional for the job is easy. Just look in the yellow pages, or head down to the squatter shacks by the edge of the sand wastes and ask around among the homeless.
I wonder how many people out there are old enough to have actually used Yellow Pages. If you have, it'd be kind of cool. Leave a comment whether or not you've used Yellow Pages in your lifetime or not, or whether or not you know what they are or had first-hand experience with them.
And now a public service announcement from the Night Vale medical community.
Okay, PSA.
Being in the desert, we get a lot of sun, and doctors are encouraging Night Vale citizens to do regular skin checks. You may think that freckle or mole is harmless, but you never know when it will grow into something much worse.
Yes. My father-in-law is real prone to minor skin cancers from too much exposure to the sun, and my wife will burn like a lobster if you say sunshine too many times in her presence.
Surgeons at Night Vale General Hospital are noting an uptick in dermatological growths related to sun exposure. Doctors describe these growths as 15-inch spiraled horns.
I don't think my father-in-law has that. I'd have to check with him and my mother-in-law, see if he's had any spiral horns growing out of him due to sun exposure. That might be something to get on the family medical history thing.
The horns mostly protrude from the lower back or knees. Unchecked, these horns can develop a glistening shine, small leather saddles, and bright red lips on the very tip.
Yeah, that sounds like something out of a H.P. Lovecraft novel or a Salvador Dali painting, one of the two, or both.
So, check your skin at least once a week in the mirror. Dermatologists recommend a 3-step process. 1. Search meticulously for 15-inch horns protruding from your body.
Because you never know, you could always just miss a 15-inch horn protruding from your body.
Don't overlook anything. 2. If you find any suspicious growths, mark them with a chalk pentagon.
Yeah, that's usually what my doctor advises.
3. Gently remove the affected skin area with a sterilized razor blade, or similarly clean crafting blade.
Yeah, either or, X-Acto knife, crafting blade, scalpel, butcher knife, as long as it's sterile.
If you are not one of the 53% of our community that was born without pain-sensing nerves, you should first consult your primary care electrologist for tips on how to numb yourself to the nigh unbearable pain of existence.
Yeah, I think that's the reason why we have things like alcohol, THC, lysergic acid diethamide, those help.
The Department of Public Safety announced that all street signs in Night Vale will be replaced with traffic cops wielding semaphore flags.
That's a choice.
Drivers will be required to learn this physically expressive maritime alphabet.
Good thing that's not where I live, because they have enough trouble with red, yellow, and green to deal with some maritime alphabet and flag signals. That goes through their. Yeah, that's just not going to happen where I live.
This decision is not without its controversy, as the existing street signs are entirely in Braille.
Our local H-E-B, which for those of you not in Texas, H-E-B is a grocery store. It's the grocery store, to be honest with you. You can have your Ralphs, you can have your Krogers, you can have all that other crap. But in Texas, we got H-E-B, and that is our thing. So yeah, I have absolutely no idea where I was going with that. Let's listen to some. Maybe that train to get back on the tracks.
One critic, Paul Birmingham, says removing these signs will deflate.
Oh, I know where I was going with that. they have a drive-through ATM, and it has Braille. All the keys on it are in Braille. So, it is what it is. So, a next logical step for stop signs and yield signs and no U-turn signs and what have you. No right turn on red. If in Texas we have that, you can make a right turn on red. Doing those in Braille, next logical step.
The Earth. As a member of the Air-Filled Earth Society, Paul believes that Earth is a precariously inflated orb that could pop or sag at any moment.
I would go with that theory or hypothesis, not theory, hypothesis, before I'd go with flat Earth hypothesis.
We've got to stop teaching all this religious propaganda in our schools and start teaching real science, Paul shouted from his lean-to behind the library.
Hey, living in a lean-to, you're in the air. You might know.
I have to admit, listeners, he makes a valid point.
Yeah. Like I said, the inflated Earth hypothesis. I wonder if we can get that started as a counter to the flat earthers. Get the conspiracy that the Earth is just a giant balloon full of air and we live on the outside of it. I wonder if, we need to get that. That's the conspiracy we need for 2024.
And now a word from our sponsor. Today's program is brought to you by Audible.com, your online source for recorded books.
Normally, I try to skip these on when they show up in my all the different ones, because some of like the black tapes or rabbits or what have you. But Night Vale, they when they do the in-universe advertisement, they usually put a twist on it that's pretty cool.
There are thousands of great titles at Audible.com that you can download to your computer or portable device and listen to on the go. I use Audible to catch up on best-selling titles like The Help and Van Gogh Notes for Technical Communication 11/E.
Okay. Not as twisted as some of their in-universe ads.
I'm on their website right now, and I'm typing in a search for dog park, because I was thinking about this town's beautiful new fixture, and how I will never, ever take my dog there. Let's see what Audible comes up with. It's a flashing black and red screen that says Thought Crime in all caps. And below that, a little animation of 2 digging workers. Under construction. That's adorable.
Imagine if the current governor of the state of Texas had his way about that. Most websites on the internet, if you tried to access them from Texas, would come up with the thought crime animation.
So, check out Audible.com. New Audible members can get 1 free audiobook just by smudging their computer monitors with baby's blood.
Yeah, that's, I'm listening to this on Audible. And, that's how I got my my subscription, smudged my monitor with a little bit of baby blood. Getting the baby's blood was hard, but, it's worth it.
And humming the Spanish translation of the Battle Hymn of the Republic.
Now, I didn't do that, so I might have to try humming in Spanish.
Audible.com. You can't burn what you can't even touch.
He's got a point. If you think about it for a moment, you think about that. You can't burn what you can't touch, and you apply it beyond the joke. I mean, it's a joke and it's exaggeration, but it does have relevance if you think about it.
Update on the pyramid situation. Flaky O's board of directors are vigorously denying, some of them at gunpoint, that they...
Why does that sound like a very American corporate thing to happen?
have any part in the pyramid that is stubbornly continuing to exist in our town. They are sneaky ones. I hope the new line of cereal turns out to be worth the hype.
Yeah, I mean, if they're actually behind it and doing it, let's, go on. Let's hope the cereal is good.
Meanwhile, the pyramid itself has altered its broadcast, sending out a second message, which is as follows. Everything you do matters except your life. Death will be the last action you undertake.
Philosophically speaking, he's not wrong.
I do not live, but I exist. What is my purpose? I will not tell you. One day you will discover your purpose, and then you will tell no one.
That's how it goes sometimes. A lot of times.
And then you will die.
He's not wrong.
Now, I'm not too good at this viral marketing thing, so I can't see all the codes and hidden web addresses that I'm sure are all through that message. I'll leave that to all the dedicated amateurs out there in the listening world. Sheriff's secret police are now attempting to charge the pyramid with resisting arrest.
It is what it is.
On the grounds that they couldn't figure out how to arrest it.
I mean, that's funny, but it's scary because I do know people that are law enforcement officers. Good people, good officers, don't get me wrong. And a large majority of law enforcement officers are good people. They're just like you and me. They're trying to feed their family, put a roof over their head, But you have the small minority that if they can't think of a crime to charge you with, they'll make one up. And that's basically along the lines of this joke.
More as the story develops. In the meantime, let's go to the weather.
And like always, we will pause and come back after the weather. And it is at this point that I will encourage everybody to go to wherever you do your podcast thingies. Like I said, this one is on Audible. Where I'm listening to it currently is on Audible. It's the Amazon Audible player. Listen to this without my commentary. Listen to the weather, whatever song they pick. Or maybe even go to Bandcamp. And there's some wonderful, wonderful audiences on Bandcamp. So, after saying all that, let's get back into it and see what Cecil has for us.
Well, listeners, it seems the pyramid has disappeared as mysteriously and suddenly as it arrived.
That's about normal for Night Vale.
Too late, I'm afraid, for the Flaky O's board of directors, who have all been taken to the abandoned mine shaft outside of town for processing by the city council.
Hey, oops!
The sheriff's secret police are declaring victory in their standoff against the pyramid because, they say, it's about time they won something.
Sounds like some state level law enforcement agencies around the country.
Meanwhile, the pyramid has left behind a much tinier pyramid, a mere souvenir of its looming inscrutable mass.
How interesting.
This tiny pyramid is broadcasting one final message, a farewell from the geometric shape that stole our hearts. So, let us wrap up our show today with its words.
This is going to be fun.
Somewhere there is a map, and on that map is Earth. And attached to Earth is an arrow that says your name and lists your lifespan. Some of you die standing, others sitting. Many of you die in cars.
Not wrong.
I can never die. It is difficult for me to understand the concept that I am attempting to convey. I cannot show you this vision, but you may imagine it.
Just make up the vision.
Step forward and tell someone of it, please. You heard it here, folks. Tell people. Tell people about Flaky O's new line of cereals for nighttime only.
Yes, nighttime only cereals.
Do it in memory of its board of directors.
Yeah. Yep.
Stay tuned now for an hour of dead air with the occasional hiss and crackle.
Oh, that's funny. And I keep smashing my headphones with my drumstick. It's funny.
Speaking of the nighttime, I truly hope you have a good one, Night Vale. Good night.
There's just something reassuring about this whole thing when Cecil is, he's like, good night. It just adds to the gives the being a radio and we're part of this town and all this. It just gives it some sincerity, and the way it's structured, it's like he's talking to us, directly, he's talking to me, Lemoyne, and all the other people listening, and it makes you feel part of the Night Vale community. Like you could walk outside and go to Rico's Pizza or, the Arby's or, what have you, the bowling alley. It's just, I love the immersion of it. So, with all that being said, we're going to go ahead and conclude this. And remember, be a good human. Be good to other humans. Peace.